I'm honored to be here tonight to introduce a music icon. As a little girl, grew into his music, I, like millions around the world, tried to mimic his unique and thrilling singing and dancing. He's still doing it. But today what I'm trying to mimic is his passion for helping others. It is an example for all of us. He believes we can really change the world. And he's doing it. He still remains the biggest selling recording artist in the history of music. The king of pop. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome artist and humanitarian Michael Jackson.
The color of your skin is obviously different than it was when you were younger.
Yeah.
And so I think it has caused a great deal of speculation and controversy as to what you have done or are doing. Are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons.
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what about all the millions of people? Let's reverse it.
Okay.
What about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun
Mm-hmm.
to become darker, to become other than what they are?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller,
Mm-hmm.
around Off the Wall Thriller.
And what did you
there.
think? I mean,
It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private. But that's the situation here. So please, when people see something like that...
I just want to get this straight.
Yeah.
You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin?
Oh, God, no.
You did not purposely...
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin. But you know what's funny? Why is that so important? You know, that's not important to me. I'm a great fan of art. I love Michelangelo. If I had a chance to talk to him or read about him, I would want to know about what inspired him to become who he is, the anatomy of his craftsmanship, not about who he went out with last night or why he decided to sit out in the sun so long. What's wrong with, I mean, that's what's important to me.
I want to ask you both about something because it was the second most asked question by people on the street. And I know it's a sensitive issue for you and you talked with Oprah about it. But somehow people still are not, they don't feel they've heard everything about the whiteness of your skin and that it's not somehow a choice on your part, along with the makeup, to be neither black or white, neither to look completely male, to be in the androgynous zone. I think they want to know, it is a decision on your part some way, the way you look. Where does it come from?
I think it creates itself, nature. Might want to put a red dot right there one day. But two eyes right here.
Do you wish you were the color you were again?
Do I wish I was the color?
That
You have
color.
to ask nature that. I love black. I love
Do you wish
black.
you were that way?
I envy her because she can tan and I can't. The people have lied on me. I'm a black American and I'm proud of it. And I'm honored of it. The bleach skin rumor, which is a rumor, I don't bleach my skin. Which was a rumor. They said I was putting on cream to make myself lighter. That's not true. I have vitiligo.
You have a condition.
Vitiligo is a medical condition that Jackson claims has afflicted him for more than 20 years. This disfiguring skin disease affects nearly 2% of the world's population and strips all pigmentation from the skin. The result is not just pale, but porcelain white.
In the beginnings, the vitiligo started happening relatively early. You know, he even was trying to hide it from me. He tried to hide it for quite a while. You know, he'd always try to cover with makeup and even out his skin tone and everything until it just got so extensive. I mean, it's all over his body. We were always trying to hide it and cover it for the longest time until he just had to tell Oprah and tell the world, listen, I'm not trying to be white. I have a skin disease.
The loss of pigment exposes vitiligo sufferers to great risk of skin cancer, requiring constant shade from the sun and thick makeup or sunblock to lessen the exposure.
You know, in the beginning, I tried to cover the light spots to the darkest part of his skin, but then it became so extensive that we had to go with the lighter part of the skin because his whole body was reacting. He'd have to be in complete, full body makeup every inch of his body, you know, so it was easier to make the transition to him being to the lighter shade that he is.
You talked about how when you went through adolescence, you had a terrible time.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had a look at some pictures of you during that period. And you did have a lot of spots.
Yeah. Yeah. And being shy as I am and was, then even worse than. It's like a disease.
The climate is a problem for Jackson. He says the colour-changing skin condition vitiligo has made him allergic to the sun. So, shielded by his umbrella, he took me.
What do you say to people who say, well, when Michael Jackson was a boy, he was a black kid, and now as an adult, he looks like a white man?
Well, you got to ask God that. That has nothing to do with me, okay? And that's ignorance.
What do you mean it's got nothing to do with you?
I don't control, you know, puberty. I don't control the fact that I have vitiligo. I don't control, you know, well, how many white people, when they're little kids, look white? Now they look and they sit out in the sun all day to look black. And the suntan lotion business is a multi-billion-dollar business. Nobody says nothing about that. They do, you know. They're trying to be other than what they are, but that's okay, I guess, right?
Are you trying to be other than what you are?
No.
So when they say things like you've had implants in your cheeks,
oh God,
you've had a dimple made in your chin, you've had your lips enlarged, you've had your eyelids reconstructed, eyelids reconstructed.
It's stupid.
None of it's true.
None of it's true. None of it's true. It's BS. They made it up. They lie. They don't want to give me credit for anything. One paper said I had each, because I was growing a little beard, he had each little hair transplanted into his face with a lasered in. How ignorant is that? I can't even grow a beard now? You ignorant fool who wrote such a thing. So don't believe that stupidity. Don't waste your money on it. Because when you're buying it, you're not buying something based on what's true. It's not the truth. It's garbage.
I asked that question. I remember when I interviewed him back in 1993, when I did the Michael Jackson Live around the world, and I was so nervous. One of the only thing that he and I actually had some disagreements about is he didn't want me to put in pictures of himself as a teenager. So as he continued to have other operations and change the way he looked, did you feel like you could say something to him about that?
When you said he had other operations on his nose, but any other thing he didn't, except when he is vitiligo that he had. He didn't want to start looking like a spotted cow, he said. So he just had everything done. I don't know how he did that, but he had everything, but except under his clothes. They were still, you know, changing. His legs and things
were spotted?
Yes, but he got it on just part of his body and his arms and things. He changed that.
Jackson's changing face that would attract the most attention. Did you feel your son overindulged in plastic surgery?
No, it has not. I've had no plastic surgery on my face, just my nose. It helped me breathe better. Just that, though, not the whole face, just the nose. They try to say, why do you keep changing it? It's not true. It's just the nose, you know?
Did
People might say he had overindulged in plastic surgery, but they don't know what went on before. Michael had a disease also, and the color of his skin was changing. Vitiligo.
Were you worried he was having too much, though, facial reconstruction?
I don't know why people said he had too much. He did change, but not that much. He had his nose done, and that really changed, because that's the center of your face, and that'll change your looks.
Plastic surgery wasn't invented for Michael Jackson. Honestly.
I don't read all the things written about me. I wasn't aware that the world thought I was so weird and bizarre. But when you grow up, as I did, in front of 100 million people since the age of 5, you're automatically different.
I don't like when people say that the changing of the skin color would know, because he truly has vitiligo, and it's actually in my family. He's not the only person in my family who actually has it. I wish he would allow people to really get to know him the way that his family knows him. And he is the warmest, most down-to-earth person, the silliest person, loves to have a great deal of fun, and he's just truly like everyone else. And I think it's more of the media that has made him out to be something that he really isn't.
You may not have heard of it, may be something you may not know much about. Michael Jackson claimed he suffered from it. To explain why his skin color became lighter over the years, 23-year-old Darcelle DeVlute began to show signs at the age of 5, and for the past 7 years, her skin has gone completely white, and now she's here along with dermatologist Dr. Janine Downey to talk about this. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Let's talk first of all, Darcelle, talk about what happened with you, because you're saying it started with your arms and your legs when you were young, and then at age 12, what happened?
Well, I got a spot on my arm at the age of 5. That's the first sign of it, and then one on my forehead. And from the ages of 5 to 12, it slowly was going through my arms and legs and on my torso. And then by the time I reached 12 years old, it just started spreading very rapidly onto my face, my neck and face.
So during those years, when you're a preteen, a teenager, all of that was when it was all changing on your face. So that's very hard to deal with, to explain to people. Did people treat you badly as a result?
I had a really strong, close-knit group of friends, and my mom was very, very strong as well. She really pushed me out there to do a lot of different activities. But then you do get the comments that, when you don't have people around to protect you and you're not too sure how to respond to it, you do also hear things that people have said. I've been called Spot, I've been called Dalmatian, I've had somebody tell other people for a sleepover, don't sleep in the same room as Darcelle, you'll catch what she's got and die.
Okay, well, how do people get this condition?
Okay, we're not sure exactly. Vitiligo affects 3% of the population, and you see it in all races and all ethnicities. Obviously, it's more noticeable in people with darker complexions. The bottom line is we think it's genetic. Most people have either primary or secondary relatives, 25 to 30% of people that have vitiligo that actually have, vitiligo in their families as well.
And Darcelle,
then it's autoimmune.
And you do have people in your family?
I don't have any blood relatives who have it, as far back as we can think. However, I have family by marriage, extended family. My dad's stepbrother has it, basically the way I had it, half black, half white, all over. And then another distant family member has on her face.
You mentioned this autoimmune issue. So besides the idea that your skin would change color, what would be the other negative effect?
Well, for example, some people that have thyroid disease also will have vitiligo. Some people that have diabetes will also have vitiligo. Some people that have anemia will also have vitiligo.
But is there any other secondary effect besides your skin changing color?
Well, you're more sensitive to the sun, and so people with vitiligo tend to blister and burn more, and they can have more skin cancers.
Okay, so that's a big issue, but anything else besides that?
It's disfiguring. People think that it's contagious. People make people feel badly about it, so it's very psychologically devastating.
So you, having gone through all of this and being, I'm sure, a young woman who listened to Michael Jackson's, did you feel that he had, did you have any, based on your experience, do you think that Michael Jackson did have this skin condition?
At the time when I was living in Cyprus and I knew nobody with the condition, we didn't know what it was, we had no experience of it, and there was no one out there except for Michael Jackson who was saying that they had it, and in a way that sort of was support from myself. So I would absolutely want to believe that yes, he had it, and I think there's a lot of evidence to back it up. And I don't see why anybody should not believe that.
A lot of people did make fun of Michael Jackson's skin changing color, so you sort of empathize with him and feel that.
Definitely.
So really, basically, then, to young people now today who, you know, feel bad about the spots on their faces and a recalled spot, what do you say?
This is exactly why we call Michael Jackson the king of pop. If it wasn't for Michael Jackson, I would never have ever performed. He's made such an impact on my life and every performer's life. Michael Jackson, I love you. We all love you. I want you to give it up for the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Congratulations. Diamond Award.
I love you. I love all the fans from the bottom of my heart.